President Trump ready to make a deal to secure the country and end the shutdown, but will Democrats come to the table? Here to weigh in, House Minority Whip, Congressman Steve Scalise. Congressman, the president said no more concrete. I'm going to go with steel. Here's where I'm spending all the money. How does that change anything for this week's negotiations?
Well, Brian, the president has shown he's willing to sit down and talk and try to reach an agreement. I know our teams have been meeting all throughout the weekend to try to find some common ground. If Democrats really want to work with us to get the government back open again, they've also got to recognize that border security is at the heart of this. And if they're for border security, and they love to say they're for border security, they just won't back the actual things that our experts are telling us we need to do to secure the border. So you can't have it both ways. If you're for border security, you actually have to back that up. And you've got to speak with, ultimately, the money it's going to take to secure the border, too. That's what President Trump's fighting for. We should all be fighting for that.
Word is, from the Democratic side, familiar with the meetings, no progress was made over the weekend. Something else happened over the weekend. Like many of us, we're taken aback at Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's proclamation that if she had her druthers, those multimillionaires would be being taxed up to 70–80%. That struck you, and you were going back and forth on Twitter with her, and you said, and what happened?
Well, you know, I was just trying to have a little fun debate about this. I mean, it's an important issue. I strongly disagree with this idea that you should just confiscate all the money or most of the money that people make and try to get into this class warfare debate. I said, look, you know, let's have an economy that works for everybody. By the way, our tax rates, the fact that we cut taxes, is creating jobs. It's helping rebuild our middle class, those very hardworking families. And, you know, once we started getting into this Twitter back and forth, a lot of her followers started making some very inappropriate references and comments. And I said, you know what, I'm not going to have this debate here.
And when you say
inappropriate, with you on the House floor.
Everybody knows you were shot, almost killed. Miraculous story that you weren't, thank goodness. And all of a sudden, these followers are saying they're going to snipe you. And you wrote this back to her. Hi, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Happy to continue this debate on the floor of the People's House, but it's clearly not productive to engage here with some of your radical followers. Hashtag stay classy. So you got threats. Did she call you, contact you in any way?
No, I haven't heard from her yet.
And do you think it's inappropriate that she didn't?
Well, I'd like to see her stand up to this. Everybody ought to stand up to this kind of discussion. If somebody wants to have a debate about policy, that's what we're all about. That's what the First Amendment's all about. But you shouldn't threaten people. And if you got to threaten people to make your point, you've already lost.
And when it comes to followers, you could stand up to that. Congressman Steve Scalise, thanks so much.